देखती आंखों और सुनते कानों को इकबाल भट्टी का अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
हीटिंग एंड कूलिंग की सर्विसेज तो बहुत से लोग और इदारे देते हैं, लेकिन आपको जरूरत है ऐसे प्रोवाइडर की जो ना सिर्फ रिलायबल हो बल्कि अफोर्डेबल होने के साथ साथ फौरी सर्विस भी फराहम करे। इजी फिक्स
देखती आंखों और सुनते कानों को इकबाल भट्टी का अस्सलाम वालेकुम। हम तुम विद इकबाल भट्टी वीकली प्रोग्राम आप टोरंटो 360 पे देखते हैं। बहुत शुक्रिया आपका हमें इनवाइट करने का, अपने दिलों में, अपने घरों में सब देखते हैं बहुत शौक़ से। आज का प्रोग्राम जो है, हमेशा जैसा कि हम कहते हैं कि हम उन लोगों को यहाँ पे लेके आते हैं जो अचीवमेंट कर चुके हैं, अचीव अपने आप को सेल्फ मेड किसी इस जगह पे पहुँचे हैं जहाँ पे हम कुछ बातें उनसे सुने और सीख सकें। एंड आज हमारे स्टूडियो में एरन मिल्स MPP, जो कि बहुत ही मशहूर जगह है, एरन मिल्स मिसिसागा में, टोरंटो में, जहाँ पे लोग बहुत ही खुशहाल रहते हैं क्योंकि हमारे MPP भी वहाँ पे खुशहाल हैं। तो आज जो मोस्ट हमारा प्रोग्राम का इंग्लिश में भी होगा, तो आप आइए सुनिए। माय गेस्ट टुडे इज MPP शरीफ सबावी। वेलकम टू द प्रोग्राम।
Welcome. Thank you very much for 360 TV for inviting me today, and thanks for the people who are watching us in homes now. I really very humbled to be here with you.
As my program always is, I ask a lot of questions.
It's okay.
Because the people here is watching, regardless who's sitting here, a singer or a doctor or a musician or a MPP yourself or an MP, we ask them where they come from and what was the education, how they get to where they are today. So we're gonna start with you, like, where are you from?
I'm originally from Egypt, from specifically speaking Alexandria. It's a nice, beautiful city on the Mediterranean. So
You done your education in your town?
I done my education in Egypt and graduated. I have a bachelor degree in engineering from University of Alexandria, Faculty for Engineering of Alexandria.
When you were growing up, you ever thought of you're going to be a politician in Canada?
Oh no, absolutely not. Not a politician at all.
Because in Egypt, the politicians are totally different than Canada.
Yes, politics are different in Middle East.
Is in your family or your uncles or aunt or anybody in, that was
No.
politicians?
No. Families in Egypt generally don't like politics. Generally speaking, they don't like politics because, especially with minorities, they focus in career, in preparing for, the future and stuff, and they don't get involved in politics.
They like their kids to be a doctor or a lawyer, so that kind of stuff.
Pretty much, yes. I mean, everybody in back home, if you're not in one of they call it top university, top colleges, top faculties like engineer or a doctor or a pharmacist, you are kind of there's like first class, second class kind of thing in the way the society look into them, like just top jobs, top professionals, and it goes down with other specializations. Could be the payment, could be the level of the hardness of education, because the harder it is, the less number there is, and the better chances you be in a good position, basically.
Mr. Zabawi, I'm going to ask, if I may ask, and probably my viewers like to
Of
know too,
course.
do you have a big family back home? Or you were a big...
Yes, like I don't have except one sister, but my father have I think four sisters and 5
So a
brothers.
lot of uncles and aunts.
My mom have 4 sisters and another 3 from another like stepfather or something. So Yeah, like big family, yes. But I have only one sister, so my.
Did you have any good memory, which is from your school or university or college back home, that you still remember that you did this thing, which is was good for you or good for other people?
In general, when I was during my study, I'm originally a civil engineer. I have a civil engineering bachelor degree, and it's actually equivalized in Canada.
No, in
here.
general, I'm asking because a
But,
lot of people, when they go to school, they go to university, they have something they've done.
Yes, but
with the friends or-
that's what I'm telling you. So I like it. I like it computers when I was even a student. So I was writing programs, basic programs. So I've been working this diligently, even when I'm doing my civil. So some of the doctors, professors came to me and said, like, we are in civil engineering, we don't have too much stuff about knowledge about computers, but we would like to do some notes about computers. So I start writing programs for civil engineering, and they distribute them through their notes for the other students. That's where I became famous using in the IT side. I mean, as soon as I, like, final year of the university in 86, 87, I got a part-time job when I was still instructing. Like, I was teaching courses when I was still a student. So all my friends comes and I sit them and they do courses, teach them basic programming, DOS, IBM program, and stuff like that.
What was your first job, paying job, and full-time after that, or you were just
Oh
giving away
no, that
free
was
knowledge?
that was part-time. But as soon as I finished, I got full-time because in the same spot, like I was doing instructing, like teaching courses and repairing computers, building networks. There wasn't too much people at the time. It was tough. Like 87, I'm talking about PCs and networking. In 87, it's like few people. We know in the whole Alexandria, we were about 5, 6 people. We know each other.
On that, IT especially in the world, doesn't matter where you are and how you're working, you make pretty good money.
At the time, it was not money, basically. Like I remember my father, God rest his soul, was always telling me, like, aren't you going to stop this kid playing and look for an
Giving away
engineer
information for-
job, like civil engineer job? And I say, Dad, like, this is a job. He said, no, that's not a job. And I remember when I first a few years, I got hired by a petroleum company, and the offer was 10 times my dad's salary after 30 years as an engineer, civil engineer. And I think he couldn't believe the offer. He said, and he asked me, so what are you gonna do? I said, like, I'm gonna think about it. And he screamed, like, he said, like, think about what? This is 10 times what I'm doing after 30 years working. Like, so again, like that's this, from this day on, I could say that I start believing in visions. Like, if you have a vision and you work hard for it, you can achieve it. That was a goal for me. Like when I first graduated, I applied in IBM.
Okay.
And I was the only non-computer engineer grad who applied. He said, there's about 79 people applied. You are the only one who's not in IT. I said, well, give me the chance. And the guy said, I don't think you will do it, but that's fine. And I got the first place. I got the first place on top.
So that's very nice.
So
So your father must be proud that you're making 10 times more money than what he was making. So when you were making that, so you took that job and you
yes,
were making
I
a very
took that job
good
and,
money.
and I made good money, and I actually created the database was tracking the losses of the crude oil. That was the first of its kind. Like, there was none in the world.
I'm coming to my next question is when you well established, making good money, your family's there, what made you decide that you want to come to the Canada?
You're coming now to the difficult ones.
How did you decide, and when did you decide that?
Well, I don't say that I didn't have the idea. Like when I graduated, I thought about immigrating, and then it got postponed because I'm the only son. So basically, you can imagine
It's tough.
how the family start talking about, like, okay, so when you travel, we don't know when we're gonna see you next time, and if we're gonna be here when you come back or not, and all kind of the
The parents
thought-
thing, you know,
thoughts,
yes.
yes. and it was tough. I would say it was tough decision to decide. Uh, Many things, many aspects. One of them is vision. Like I thought that I start hitting kind of the maximum I can do within the environment. Like I can't fly more than that. Limitations, I wouldn't say persecution, but I would say limitation. There is limitation for minorities.
When you decided that you wanted to come to Canada or overseas from Egypt, did you get approval from your parents, or did you ask, or you just wanted to just go?
No. Like I discussed this with my parents. I said like I'm just thinking about doing that, and of course at that time, knowing that I'm in a good job, doing fine. I was very successful in my job. Like the presentation I did in 1993 was presented in Texas, the International Petroleum Industry Conference, as the model of the future model of the computer systems application in petroleum industry. So I was very successful. Like all the big companies used to come to our office to teach them about how they can track their losses and control the loss and creating graphs about the losses and stuff. All of them came from Mobil, Exxon, Agib, Total France, British Petroleum, Aramco, Qatar Gas, like all of them came and sat, and I taught them how to track their losses.
What year did you come to Canada?
1995.
1995. Let me ask a little personal question now. And you came with the family, with the wife?
With my wife, yes.
Do you have children?
My 2 children came here,
10
like
children.
born in Canada.
Born in Canada. Very nice. Now, from there, when you came to Canada and you joined one of the company probably to get a full-time job for your profession.
No, that was the goal, but it didn't work this way.
Here comes the struggling part
You
now.
have to come. I mean, when I first came, I had to find a job, even a part-time job, to survive. The first actually job I got was in Tim Horton. So I worked for Tim Horton night shifts about maybe 8 months. Night shifts, baking donuts and preparing, like dressing the donuts.
This is one struggle for most of the families' professions when they
Yes.
come from overseas to Canada.
Yes.
It's very difficult to right away to join. Another thing is too, when you come with the family, you have responsibilities.
Yes.
So right away you will take anything to support your family, and that's what you did.
Absolutely. And it's tough, but I mean, I think it's about different personalities take it differently. Like some of my friends who came as engineers who spent many years in job professionally and then came here, he couldn't accept that. He said, I can't. I would prefer to go home or sit in unemployment or welfare or something, but I can't work.
Or some of them, they come here, they burn bridges back there. They just wanted to come here.
A lot of people didn't survive. Yes, absolutely. They couldn't take it. They couldn't take it on their pride or their personality to work in a low jobs. From their thinking of you, my thing is there's nothing called low jobs. Job is a job, and every job is needed. Like whatever is the job, even a small job. Imagine that this guy who's doing that job is not available. Are you gonna feel there's something missing? Absolutely yes. So there's nothing not important. Every job is important.
What suggestion you have for all those people who come here as very educated and they can't get a job right away?
It's difficult. It's understandable. Everything
Has to be a
needs time.
mindset when they come here
Yes,
that okay, you
absolutely.
have to struggle.
Yeah, like you have to be a fighter. If you are not a fighter, okay. I'll go one step back. 90%, I would say 80% of the people who comes here through being in Gulf area, like in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait, and those countries you don't go unless you have a contract. So you are paid day one. You arrive, somebody's waiting for you. You get your job, you get your car, you get your house. Here it's different. This is immigration. This is not a contract. You are not coming here to spend a period of time, paid period of time, and leave. You are coming here to a new home. So when the people think about coming to Canada, they think about new home, not thinking about I'm coming to Canada for 2 years to collect some money or save some money and then we'll do something else.
I remember growing up in Pakistan when I was a child, and I heard that to people's, just a husband or man of the house is going to Middle East, going to Dubai, going to Kuwait to work there. They go there for many years and then they come back and settle home because they made enough money there. And anytime they were going there, they have a contract with the companies.
Yes, absolutely.
When the contract expires, your visa expires,
Yes.
you have to leave.
Yes.
Unless some other company hire you for work there.
Yes, that's correct.
Let me come to the this politician thing now.
Sure.
When did you thought of it, living in Canada with the family and your friends and politics side? When did that came into your mind that you want to be a politician?
Okay, like everyone immigrates to Canada, they take few years to settle. His main focus is how can I get back to my profession? How can I settle? How can I get enough money to cover my expenses, put my family in a good living style? Then he started thinking about if not everyone, but some of the people will start thinking, how can I get involved in the society? How can I get involved in the community? And start finding something they like. They work it out, being it's in an art committee, being it's in a social committee, charity committee, media committee, like anything they feel that it's a hobby in a way or something I like to do and the people can benefit from.
Interact with the community.
Yeah. So it's paying back to the community in a way, something I like, I can do it in my spare time and help other people. When it came to that, I looked into, how I just got dragged basically into the human issues, like humanitarian issues. So seeing a lot of cases coming from Syria, coming from Iraq, coming from Egypt, coming from Sudan, coming from Somalia, we have been going through, the whole Middle East is been going through a series of crises,
human crisis,
everywhere.
yes.
So just got involved with that, and one lead to the other. Like I worked with Chaldeans, Iraqis, Assyrian Iraqis, Yazidis Iraqis, Shia Iraqis. I worked with Ahmadiyya, I worked with Bahra, I worked with, you name it.
Basically, you're out there to help anyone who needs it.
Anybody ask for help, basically I can try to help. And being there, trying to help is trying to maybe get them in connection with some of the politicians so that somebody can give them a hand. If it's a case, immigration case, refugee case, and that's where I was involved originally in the federal side of things, because that's where majority of the issues I had was involved with. Like people really needed some help with cases, a refugee case or immigration case or a problem, somebody having a problem, or a family member having a problem abroad, they're trying to bring him in, stuff like that, or it's a mass problem.
Mr. Swabi, thanks very much being here. This interesting topic that without being a politician or lawyer, how did you help people to understand about the immigrations, understand to being a settle here or being a happy family? But we have to take one break. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
एयर विंग्स ट्रैवल एंड टूर्स नॉर्थ अमेरिका की सबसे बाएतमाद और फास्टेस्ट एयर ट्रैवल सर्विसेज। 25 साल का तजर्बा लिए लातादाद अफोर्डेबल ट्रैवल डील्स के साथ एक्सीलेंस इन कस्टमर सर्विसेज ऑन जस्ट वन फोन कॉल। ये है एयर विंग्स ट्रैवल एंड टूर्स। फॉर बुकिंग कॉल नाउ 1855-247-9464 और 905-272-2300। एयर विंग्स ट्रैवल एंड टूर्स।
5 and 10 Auto Garage, your local auto repair shop, where customer service our priority. Our service and experience speaks for itself. हर तरह की कार की तसल्ली बख्श रिपेयर के लिए आज ही तशरीफ लाएं. Oil change, brakes, new and used tires, and much more at 2241 Royal Windsor Drive, Unit 4, Oakville, Ontario. 905-337-9600.
الصلاة خير من النوم.
मस्जिद नूरुल हरम एक शानदार रूहानी तामीराती मंसूबा। माशाल्लाह वर्ल्ड इस्लामिक मिशन कनाडा खुशी से ऐलान करते हैं कि मस्जिद नूरुल हरम की तामीर का काम शुरू हो गया है। इस प्रोजेक्ट का डिजाइन और तफसीलात आप यूट्यूब पर मस्जिद नूरुल हरम ओकविल टाइप करके देख भी सकते हैं। इस शानदार रूहानी मरकज की तामीर में माली ताउन करके इसकी तकमील में हिस्सेदार बनिए। डोनेशंस के लिए कॉल करें 9052571342 या wimcanada.com पे लॉग इन हो।
Injuries not only impact you, but also people around you. Life is better than this. Let's get your life back. The injury lawyers at Alam Law will use their years of experience to handle your claim so that you can focus on your recovery. And remember, you don't pay until we win. Alam Law.
Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate, whether it be residential, commercial, or pre-construction, Arshad Bhatti and his team of professionals can help. We have guaranteed allocations in high-rise and low-rise pre-construction projects in and around the GTA. Call Arshad Bhatti at 416-300-5600. That's 416-300-5600 or register at arshadbhatti.com.
उरूज फाइनेंशियल के जाहिद सैयद लाए आपके फैमिली और फ्रेंड्स के लिए ट्रैवल एंड विजिटर्स इंश्योरेंस जो दे आपको बेस्ट प्लान एट बेस्ट प्राइस, महाना पेमेंट्स प्लान फॉर सुपर वीजा इंश्योरेंस और क्लेम में मदद, आपके बेहतर मुस्तकबिल की जमानत। उरूज फाइनेंशियल के जाहिद सैयद लाए आपके मॉर्गेज डेट के लिए लाइफ इंश्योरेंस एंड इन केस ऑफ डिसेबिलिटी मंथली पेमेंट प्लान जो आपकी फैमिली को दे बेनिफिट, ना कि आपके बैंक को, आपके बेहतर मुस्तकबिल की जमानत। उरूज फाइनेंशियल।
The law professionals at TM Law, providing professional services in the GTA in the areas of civil litigation, criminal defense, family matters, and real estate. Serving the community in English, Punjabi, Hindi, and Urdu. For more information, call Tahir Majid, barrister and solicitor at 647-838-4773 or you can visit tahirlaw.ca.
जी नाज़रीन, इस वक्त आप देख रहे हैं हम तो में इकबाल भट्टी और आज हमारे स्टूडियो में मौजूद हैं MPP एरन मिल्स मिसिसागा टोरंटो कनाडा के शरीफ सबावी जो कि इजिप्ट से, जैसा कि आपने सुना पहले हाफ में कि इजिप्ट से वो तशरीफ़ लाए थे और किस तरह स्ट्रगल फैमिली के साथ किया और अब तक वो कैसे ये सब कुछ किया उन्होंने। बिफोर द ब्रेक वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट यू वर हेल्पिंग पीपल to settle in Canada, being comfortable in this country. How did you do that?
I've been
How did you comfort them?
connecting with different communities, and through my activities with politicians, like getting connections with politicians.
So you knew some politicians?
You get to meet with them in the road. I mean, across many years, I met many of the people. And you start directing people to the right direction, like this need this, or maybe sometimes I get to know some organizations, like helping organizations, settlement organizations. I can refer them to somebody to help them. It's just more accessory fields. Like I didn't have anything in hand I can help with. Like I wasn't having that type of level of authority.
At that time, Mr. Sababi, as you were very approachable to the community.
Yes.
At that time, you see that also?
Yes, I mean, people, if they could, if they knew where to go and they managed to go, why they go through me? But lots of those people who are coming to Canada, they are new to the country, they don't know what type of help they can get.
Not
they
only
don't know
that,
where to go.
I've seen in the past and probably still see a language barrier is big.
Oh, and the language barrier, of course, on top of that. But even standard people, like when I first get introduced to my MP, I would tell you, like, I had applied for my parents to come, and my mom had some hip problem, and they refused her because of that. The system refused it. It said it could cost the system lots of money to repair or something like that. So anyway, so we had to go through the MP, and that's where I first time met an MP. Like I never met my MP back home. I never met a member of parliament in Egypt. Like it was the first time I meet a real member of parliament at the time, and I figured out that it's not difficult to get your MP.
And I heard in our countries back home that meeting MPP is a very big thing.
MP is a huge thing. I don't know why. I mean, what's the difference? But irrelevant. I mean, I can't tell now because I wasn't, at the time, I wasn't aware, I wasn't politically involved. But in general, the challenge, people think, everyone think that his case is the worst case. Like when you talk to any immigrants, he think that, oh, you came young, you had the chance. If he came later on, after spending 10, 20 years in some Arab country or Gulf country and having enough money to start something, you know, you can tell the opposite. You say you came maybe later 10 years, but you came with some money, you can start something. So there's always, I tell the people, there's nothing called the best time. Every time is the best time. Everyone will have challenges. He came young, he have his own different type of challenges. I can tell you something, like if somebody came young, like when somebody say, oh, you came with your wife, so that's a burden, and you know, you have a family, you have a commitment, yes. But look at it in the other way. Some people who came out here young and with their involvement in work and struggling to catch a career, they totally forget about time, and all of a sudden they discover, oh, I get old, I have now to get married, and they start going home to find the right person for him, and that's another struggle. So everyone have his own struggle.
Mr. Sawabi, we're going to go to that length now because my viewers probably want to know.
Yes.
You became an MPP in our mills there.
Yes.
When did you decide to be a candidate for the MPP, and why? Because you know a lot of MPs and MPPs there also.
Yes.
And when did you decide yourself that you want to be an MPP?
Well, I wouldn't say there is a distinguished moment where I decided, but at some point in time where we had some issues and we standed in front of Queen's Park in a standoff with signs and stuff, and I discovered it was a Sunday. There's nobody inside the building. So I said to guys, like, what are we doing here? They said, yeah, but you know, media will notice us. I said, like, I don't think in this cold anybody noticing us. You should try to get inside and talk to somebody during a day. I mean, during where MPs and MPPs are there.
Hours, yeah.
Working hours. But doing a strike or a standoff in front of an empty building is useless, basically. So I decided to discover that even people who spend many years here, they don't understand the system. And they don't understand their rights. They don't understand how to get their rights. That's where I decided, okay, we need somebody who actually gone through this route, understanding the suffering of those people so that he can help.
Me understanding the kind of person you are because you ran for Air Mills riding for MPP and you win your riding.
Yes.
So you must have a good quality in you that you talk to people and you convince them.
I don't know. You can tell that better than me. I mean, the people can tell that.
I live in that riding too.
Yeah.
I seen you before the election that you were working very hard. You were very friendly. And we're going to talk about the Jirga first because you come to
my friends.
Your
Yes.
friends Jirga. You were coming to Jirga, which is
Yes.
Jirga Mississauga,
Yes.
where we sit at night.
Yeah.
And you were very pleasant, and you were telling us that you were coming for MPP and all that stuff there. And how did you find that Jirga? You're part of member there also now.
Yes, actually, when I used to sit with the team talking, they start talking about Jirga, and like I asked, what do you mean Jirga? And they said, like, you know, wise people sit and, you know, do some thinking about the community and issues and stuff. So I thought it's a think tankers team. I mean, this is something good to have, and I embraced it. And I mean, one day after the other, we had some formal thing.
So we can blame on Baba Irfan that he led you there also.
Absolutely, Baba Irfan is a great guy, and he always think about the community. This is what I find amazing about Mr. Irfan. Like, he's always doing something for somebody.
That's right.
And that's amazing.
I'm going to come to where you're an MPP in our mills now. What your, I would say, a party or yourself seen problems in our riding?
Okay, I don't think there is a micro level overlook, like there's localized, there is a realization about the issues by me, which I raise it to the party as local requirements.
No, my question was, the people come to your office
Yes.
with the complaints
Yes.
or with the issues. What do you see that most of the time?
The majority of time the complaints are, I'm not saying cookie cutter, because people might feel that this is not a good thing, but there is similarities. Like very similar to any doctor, when like somebody visit the doctor, he have a complaint. This doctor most of already seen hundreds of the same case. That's why he realized what is the issue, and then he realized what should we do, because he done it before. So some of the issues keep coming, so we know what to do with it. We know who to contact in the ministry. We know what should we ask and how to solve it. Some issues, first time we seen it, we keep asking other offices to see what should we do with that, how can we help. But in general, there's similarities. So it's either issue with a health card or health issue, like a hospital payments, hospital refused to do something, somebody just arrived, doesn't have a PR, or his health card is not yet here. Or I remember, I would say a case, like I remember when I first 2 weeks actually of we starting the office.
Yeah.
We got a call. So the lady I was outside the country. I was in Ireland, and I got a call from my EA saying somebody called and she said she's pregnant and her health card didn't arrive yet, and she can't give labor or go to the hospital because she don't have money and she don't have the health card.
And let's get her help from MPP.
And I said, okay, can you check about her health card? And he checked, and she said no, she didn't complete the 3 months period, so she can't get health card now. This is 15 days, still 15 days. So I said, tell her that. And he's speaking to her, and she said, no, but I need to go to the hospital now. I'm having the baby now. I was like, okay. So he called me, he said that. And he said, like, when she was talking, she said the water broke. And I said, okay, what did you do? He said, I don't know. I said, call 911, tell them the address of the lady, and send her an email saying that she have to go to the hospital. Call her, tell her she have to call 911 or get an ambulance. And you know, it was a time difference, 7 hours or 6 hours time difference. In the morning, I wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, and he's telling me, congratulations, we got a baby boy.
That's very
So
nice.
that was nice. We managed to get her like an approval to do the labor.
Is your office's open door policy for everyone?
Every single one.
Did you have different languages you can help people who's coming to your office?
Yes, we have Arabic speakers, of course, and me. We have a part-timer work with us, Urdu, Yusuf. He's Pakistani, he can speak Urdu. We have Ilona, can speak Polish, and Andrew can speak French, of course. So we have Arabic, English, French, Arabic, Urdu, Polish, and we have a volunteer who can speak Hindu and Punjabi. Yeah.
That's very nice. The other thing is to your relationship with the provincial government and into the city of Mississauga government, which is runs the city of Mississauga. How's that works together?
We are a team. Like, you have to understand that the city always in connection with the provincial government. Sometimes through me, sometimes through direct connection with the ministry. But they need the funding for any project the city do. Majority of time they need capital funding from the provincial. If they're doing expansion for a hospital, they need money from the government. If they are even doing some changes in the bylaws, you have to get approved from the provincial government. So there is always connections, and I try to build those bridges with the councillors in my area, like Sue McFadden, Matt Mahoney, Patsy, to we meet and discuss if there's any issue. And I remember even Matt said this is the first time I visit my member for provincial parliament office when we opened the office. So it's important to have this type of relation, because at the end of the day, it's a complete service. Like, we are both servicing the people.
The bottom line is making Airmil's people comfortable as possible.
Absolutely.
My viewers probably want to know also from your provincial government, what things they're doing to make things easier for the province and are riding in air mills.
Okay, let's talk generally first. Generally, we inherited the government with a big deficit in the budget, $15 billion deficit. We had inflating costs for the government, the different departments of the government. So we are not talking now about paying the debt, but we need to stop the bleeding. We need to stop borrowing more money. So our goal as a government, and that was a promise, like it's not a surprise, that's what we promised during our election campaign, that we will reduce the size of the government, we reduce the money, like efficiently using the money to be able to reduce the gap, and eventually within 2 years or 3 years we'll be able to get zero deficit. So meaning we are spending as much as we are getting from revenues and other resources. So if even we can't pay the debt today, we have the chance to stop that bleeding so that we can start going up and having surplus to pay that debt. With $369 billion debt, we pay $1.1 billion a month servicing the debt, not paying the debt, servicing the debt, like the interest of the debt. So believe it or not, the first cost in the budget is health, the biggest spending. Second spending is education. Third spending is the service of the debt. So the service of the debt is preventing us. This money we could use to do a lot of things if we don't have to pay it to keep our credit rate.
I don't
So-
know if I may ask you a very difficult question. You can answer or you can just not answer. Your government, which is led by the leader, had a lot of shake-up in the ministers and a lot of people in the parliament. Do you want to tell us about that?
Well, first of all, I don't have exact answer for this. Like, I don't know exactly why this minister moved from here to here. But in general, it's
Mr. Ford made a decision.
after a year, usually there's some shuffle happen. The size of the shovel, it varies from different government to different government, but in our case, maybe the shovel was a little bit bigger number. Some of the ministers maybe get tired of, like some of the, depending on the ministry, some ministers got really bad heat. Understandable that this is not one man decision. Like, people focus their anger on the minister himself. Well, the minister is not by himself. He's not wake up in the morning and say,
It's a team.
I will change this.
It's a team
The
work,
team, the government, us, like, we are involved in the discussions. We could raise flags, absolutely. But anyway, end of the day, he is the face for a big apparatus doing the changes. But when the people focus their anger, they attack personally some of the ministers. So maybe some of the ministers actually asked to be removed from their positions because you couldn't take the heat much more than that.
Mrs. Wabi, I appreciate you answering that. One thing my viewers probably like to know that too, like ourselves living in air mills riding, regardless of different areas. I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to talk about where you MPP in air mills riding. What would you like my viewers who's living in air mills to do, make things better for you and better for ourselves in our riding?
Well, I ask everyone to be positively involved. When I say positively involved, like, you don't have to involve when you see something really bad. It's actually, if you see something good and you like it, jump the wagon, give a hand. If you see a project, volunteers doing something, and you liked it, you felt that was a great. It's good that not only clapping hands saying that was good, give them a hand. It's a positive thing. Like, let's not only speak about negatives, let's actually embrace positives as well. Because if you continue speaking about negatives, people get depressed sometimes. Because everything they hear is negative, 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 negative. Let's speak about the negatives. That's important because that's how we can fix it. But as well as much important, talk about the positive things. Look at Mr. Saga. Maybe some people would say we have some issues. Yes, definitely every city have issues, but we have lots of positives. Like, try to leave Mississauga and live for a month somewhere else, anywhere in Canada. And I would say anywhere, even the one which is very famous. Go to Vancouver, stay a month there, and you will come running to Mississauga.
थैंक यू वेरी मच नाज़रीन, आप देख रहे हैं और सुन भी रहे हैं हमारे MPPR Mills. As I always ask my guest in the end, a short and sweet message for all my viewers.
Be positive. I think for the new immigrants, because yesterday for Canada Day, when I was roaming around in Churchill Meadows with Sue McFadden gathering, lots of new immigrants, like 2 years, 1 year, 6 months. I understand it's difficult. We all gone through that. You're not by yourself. Like everyone in this position feel that, oh my God, that like, what did I do? Did I did something wrong? I should maybe stay on. Everything takes time. It's just like focus, look into the positive side, look for the opportunity, check what's needed to be done, ask for help. Come to your MPs, come to your MPPs, come to social services workers and ask, how can I change my career if I don't feel that this is the right career? Ask questions. There's no bad questions. Always, any question is a good question. Looking to me, when I came here, as I mentioned, like I said that in my graduation ceremony for the students in grade 12 2 days ago. When I arrived in 1995, I was nobody, and I don't know anybody. So
Now you're
from
well
there,
known, yes.
I moved to be a professor. That was a journey, many years of work until I become an IT professor, which was one of my dreams of life, to be a professor. And I managed to be an MPP. So that's give you the opportunity to say, and that's confidently saying, dream high, as high as you can, and work hard. If you work hard enough, you will get it. That's my message. Same for my wife. She's a doctor. She came here, and when we first arrived, she had to sign a form saying, I wouldn't be able to. I understand that I can't work as a doctor in Canada. She wouldn't land without signing that. And she was crying. And I told her, don't worry, you will do it. Today, she's a doctor. She has her own practice. I'm so proud of her. Again, the road wasn't easy. She had to leave Ontario for a few years to be able to get her license. Everyone struggled to be where we are here today. And sky is the limit.
I thank you very much. नाज़रीन, आपने सुना और बहुत अच्छी बातें भी सुनी. इनकी लाइफ कहाँ से शुरू और कहाँ तक पहुँची. Sky is the limit. That's what he said. So keep dreaming, keep working hard, and you will achieve whatever you want to be. नाज़रीन, बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. हम तुम इकबाल भट्टी. नेक्स्ट वीक फिर आपसे बात होगी नए गेस्ट के साथ. अल्लाह ताला आप सबको हमें ना सिर्फ मुस्कुराते रहें और अपनी मुस्कुराहटें दूसरों में बांटते रहें. अल्लाह हाफ़िज़.
एयर विंग्स ट्रेवल एंड टूर्स नॉर्थ अमेरिका की सबसे बाएतमाद और फास्टेस्ट एयर ट्रेवल सर्विसेज. 25 साल का तजर्बा लिए लातादाद अफोर्डेबल ट्रेवल डील्स के साथ एक्सीलेंस इन कस्टमर सर्विसेज ऑन जस्ट वन फोन कॉल. ये है एयर विंग्स ट्रेवल एंड टूर्स. फॉर बुकिंग कॉल नाउ 1855-247-9464 or 905-272-2300. Air Wings Travel and Tours.
5 and 10 Auto Garage, your local auto repair shop, where customer service our priority. Our service and experience speaks for itself. हर तरह की कार की तसल्ली बख्श रिपेयर के लिए आज ही तशरीफ लाएं. Oil change, brakes, new and used tires, and much more at 2241 Royal Windsor Drive, Unit 4, Oakville, Ontario. 905-337-9600.
फातिमा ग्रोसर्स एंड हलाल मीट, फ्रेश प्रोडक्ट्स और इंतहाई मुनासिब दाम। 100% सर्टिफाइड हलाल मीट, ताज़ा सब्जियां, फल, ग्रोसरी आइटम्स, मसाले और घरेलू इस्तेमाल की बेशुमार अशिया, असली और ऑथेंटिक ब्रांड्स। पाकिस्तान से ताज़ा सब्जियां, फल, हर्ब्स और दूसरी अशिया खास तौर पर मंगवाई जाती हैं। बेहतरीन कस्टमर सर्विस और फ्रेश प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए तशरीफ लाइए फातिमा ग्रोसर्स, 512 ब्रिस्टल रोड वेस्ट, मिसिसागा। कॉल 905-848-7000। It's 905-848-7000। फातिमा ग्रोसर्स। हीटिंग एंड कूलिंग की सर्विसेज तो बहुत से लोग और इदारे देते हैं, लेकिन आपको जरूरत है ऐसे प्रोवाइडर की जो ना सिर्फ रिलायबल हो बल्कि अफोर्डेबल होने के साथ साथ फौरी सर्विस भी फराहम करे। इजी फिक्स HVAC की डेडिकेटेड टीम और सर्टिफाइड टेक्नीशियंस के पास कई साल का तजर्बा है। अगर आपको एयर कंडीशनर्स, फर्नेसेस, वाटर हीटर, फायरप्लेसेस, ह्यूमिडिफायर्स या तमाम किस्म के थर्मोस्टेट्स की इंस्टॉलेशन या मेंटेनेंस करवानी हो तो अभी कॉल करें 647-400-4962। अगर फाइनेंशियल लिमिटेशंस हों तो रेंटल इक्विपमेंट की सहूलत भी मौजूद है। इजी फिक्स HVAC 647-400-4962।
If you are looking for a reliable, professional, and affordable travel agency in your town, then your search is over. Global Travel and Tours is your personal travel partner. Our dedicated staff always ready to make your trip hassle-free, memorable, and cost-effective. We will assist you with hotel reservations, the transportation, visa assistance, and travel insurance. Please give us a call right now at 1-877-275-3555.
All right, I gotta go, okay? She's gonna love it. Happy anniversary. कैसा?
तुम्हें ये तब्दीली कैसे आई?
अपनी जिंदगी में तब्दीली लाए. Easy to cook handy food products.
Owning a home is a keystone of wealth, and buying a house was the best decision we ever made.
And to make our real estate transactions smooth, we trusted Adil Law.
Buying or selling a property is an important decision, and real estate transactions are not always as straightforward as it might seem. Adil Law facilitates hassle-free residential and commercial real estate transactions. Adil Law, the legal professionals.
Dixie Electronics and Appliances is your #1 destination for electronics and appliances. Choose from TVs and home audio that will entertain your whole family, to home comfort essentials for your living space, and a wide selection of appliances to build your perfect kitchen. From selection to delivery, Dixie Electronics is everything you need. Price match guarantee and 0% financing available, all under one roof. Come today at 5120 Dixie Road, Mississauga, or visit the website at dixieelectronics.ca.